So I do feel prepared, although I acknowledge that in some ways this is an experiment, but I'm hopeful to make good on it.
Lance, you've had some pretty great moments in your career at every level. Where does this moment, putting that hat on, stack up?
I mean, it's right up there for sure. Like I said, this has kind of been a dream come true for me. When you retire from playing, there's a period of time where you sort of are casting about to try to, well, what's next? Because you feel like in some ways, it's like a death. Your career ended, and you're like, oh, now who am I? Now what am I doing? And so this is a great chance for me to have a second career, and I'm taking it as seriously as I did, my playing career. And so it's the right opportunity at the right time, and so I'm thrilled.
What is special about HBU that drew you to the school?
Well, HBU is a great place, and in fact, I would say an underrated and underappreciated university. The thing that I really like about it, it's a place that combines faith and education, which are two things that I think are critically important in the development of young men. So the opportunity to develop people in their faith, in their education, and on the baseball field, it's a rare opportunity that combines three things that I'm passionate about.
You're touching on this, but that was going to be my question. What do you hope to do for your players' lives beyond baseball? When they leave your program, and a lot of these guys are going to go off and do 9-to-5 jobs or careers or whatever, what do you hope they take from your program?
Well, I've made plenty of mistakes on and off the field, so what you hope is that you can help circumvent some of those things that I did wrong. And I always say coaching is about shortening the learning curve. So whether it be in life or on the field, that's my job, is to help these guys kind of be a guide. I've been down this exact path. It wasn't all that long ago. I mean, although it has been a number of years now, but I can vividly remember the thoughts and emotions and some of the questions that you have when you're that age. And so having the opportunity to be a guide for them is something that really fires me up. So I'm hopeful that when a player comes to our program, that they're going to get a complete experience. They're going to develop spiritually, they're going to develop with a great education, and they're going to develop physically through their baseball skills. And to me, baseball is the vehicle by which we can develop those other areas. Because quite frankly, the kids that you want to recruit are the guys that think they're going to play in the big leagues, after college. And so the hard reality of professional baseball, though, is that most of the kids that come in are going to be relying on their degree, and of course, your spiritual, the spiritual component of it is something that serves you your whole life and is extremely important. So, but using that lure of, hey, come play baseball for us, come let us develop you to the utmost in a baseball sense, but we're also going to be developing young men spiritually and educationally, which that's the whole point of college baseball.
Lance, when you look at building a staff, I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but what are you looking for in a staff that you want on board around you?
Well, I want young guys that are eager, that'll really work, that will beat the bushes. I mean, the name of the game is recruiting. We happen to be in my opinion, if you had to pick one city in America, if you just said, hey, there's one city in all of America that you could only recruit there, it would be Houston. I mean, the baseball talent in this area is off the chart on the amateur side. So we have to do a great job of getting our share of the Houston talent. And so I need guys that know the area, that are young, hungry, willing to beat the bushes, and we're going to have to outwork some people. And so I'm looking for that in a staff for sure. I'm looking for people that complement my weakness. I mean, I'm a baseball guy. I haven't had much experience with administration, so that's going to be very high on the list, is to find somebody that has administrated before, understands what it takes to run a college program, off the field, that can help me through some of that. And of course, pitching. About 80% of the game is what you get on the mound, so my pitching coach is going to be really important.
In the age of analytics baseball, how much are analytics going to play into the talent that you get versus the talent that they have and experience they have?
Well, analytics is very important for a number of reasons. One, I think it's a great tool when it comes to developing players. You actually have some metrics by which you can judge improvement, and you can say, this is where you were, and this is where we want you to go, and here's how you're going to get there. And then, oh, by the way, when you do get there, we'll be able to show you that you did get there. And so there are some really valuable things. It's a tool that you can use when you're coaching and developing players. But I think really the most important thing is when you have technology, that's what, you know, these kids are used to video, they're used to, you know, all of the spin rate stuff, the Rapsodos, and then there's other things now that have kind of been, you know, more advanced than that. If you have those things, it is an attractive draw to recruits. And so you can bring them in and say, hey, you know, we're up to speed with all of the latest and greatest when it comes to technology and analytics and in the baseball world. And if you come to HBU, you're going to get just as good a technology experience, if you will, as A&M or Texas or any of the other bigger schools.
How much of your high school experience helped to remind you that this, you may not need a reminder, but this is a hard game. You made it look easy for a long time. For a lot of people, this is a hard game. How did that kind of resonate with you in shaping some of those high school kids?
Yeah, well, to me, it's about, you know, physical mistakes are going to happen. What I don't tolerate is mental mistakes. So, you know, you can't control bad hop or striking out or even making a bad throw. I mean, that's going to happen to you. Baseball is a sport of failure. It's really a sport of overcoming failure. So you have to be comfortable with failure if you're going to be a good baseball player. But what we can't have is a mental lapse. And so those are things that you can control. And so that's where I've really tried to focus. And when you have a kid that, you know, they're a little short physically and they make mistakes, hey, you know, you can only be as good as God's blessed you to be. But what you can always do is you can always hustle, you can always focus, you can always be a good teammate, you can always have a good attitude. You know, those are the things that you choose. And so that's where I'm really going to be hard on these guys, not necessarily with the physical mistakes. But the funny thing is, when you take care of the things that you can control, the physical mistakes happen less and less often.
Have you heard from anybody to congratulate you that, like,
I've heard from everybody, it seems like. I mean, my phone is just, you know, blowing up continually. And it's great. I mean, that's one of the heartwarming parts of this for me, is just to know that there are so many people out there that care enough to send a text of congratulations and that are excited about this opportunity, because this is a great opportunity. I mean, it really is. This school is kind of, I think, a sleeping giant in terms of baseball because of the location. You know, we're a warm weather city. As I already mentioned, this is the greatest amateur baseball city in the nation. This is a tremendous opportunity here.
do you have any particular